Welcome everyone, Marcelo is my name. I am the Niche Fragrance Collector.
Hey, I'm Daniel from Seldomly Often, and this is the first episode of The Last Say.
The last say means that each of us will select a fragrance that we love, and that person who brings it forward will have the last say in this episode.
I'm so pumped because, well, it just so happens that these are my fragrances that I like too. So really hyped up. Let's get right into it.
Now, the one that I put forward to Daniel that I know that he has in his collection is AMOUAGE Black Iris. So this is Interlude Man Black Iris. Now, tell me your thoughts on this fragrance, Daniel.
I have a huge bond with AMOUAGE, first of all, as a brand, but specifically with Interlude and the Interlude family. It's basically the fragrance that really got me into niche fragrances. That one there was Interlude Woman. And my current favorite fragrance of all time, gun to my head, is Interlude 53. This one here is a high contender for that mark. It's really beautiful. And to me, this really symbolizes relaxation, meditation, smoky ritual at that. A very beautiful, endearing, soft, almost theater-like smoke, that just permeates the room. I really like this so much.
You know, it's interesting because 53 I don't have. My first one that I got was Interlude Man, and I'm not one for buying flankers, but when Black Iris came along, it really wowed me. I couldn't believe how different it was. It had sort of semblance of the original, but then it went in a whole different direction. But 53 is one that I thought, I don't know if I really want to have another interlude in the collection. So your thoughts on the three, where do you sit with them?
I do feel that this one here is definitely the most mass appealing one, the easiest one to understand. In terms of the other two, well, those two are actually very similar. I do feel that those are extremely redundant one to another, and I would probably pick, the one you like the most. 53, it is for me. It has a little bit more smoothness, a little bit more complexity. It's just so rich. It just feels really rich compared to the original. But this one here, again, is absolutely beautiful, and it has similar sort of richness, but it adds a lot more likability, a lot more sweetness to it.
So if you're brand new to Interlude, you would say 53 is the one that you should grab?
No, absolutely not. No. Brand new to Interlude, this one here is the one that you should get. 53 is a little bit more of a beast of fragrance. You really need to understand it. You really need to get into that mood, into the Interlude sort of vibe. This one here is definitely the gateway to Interlude.
A lot of people who want to start the Interlude journey will go to the OG, which is Interlude Man. And I agree with Dan, is that it's a little bit harsh. There are some, not jagged edges, but it's not as smooth. There is the opening with that oregano, almost herbal-like quality to it, can be a little bit off. And because I love this fragrance, but it can be a little bit off-putting. It's a little bit like, whoa, what is going on? And then the journey of the fragrance is actually also quite unusual. Do you find the same for you?
I do. So let me backtrack a sec, because I said that this is the best intro, but I tend to like to go hard and fast. I really want to dive into it. So I do appreciate exploring the original Interlude DNA, because then you come to appreciate this one here a little bit more. If you start with this, the original Interlude, again, might come across as a little bit harsh, as you said. It's a little bit different. Paradoxically, I do feel that once you are used to the DNA, the original Interlude becomes a lot more wearable in much more seasons, because this one here is very base heavy, and it's very thick. It has a definite thickness to it.
This was my first one. It's not one that when you spray, you smell on skin. You allow the sillage and its presence to sort of dominate. But then in discovering Black Iris, because it has a violet on the top note, it also has that orris butter in the base. And I really feel the smoothness of, and the density, like Dan said, the dense of those notes are just like, they're just luxurious. Everything is round, everything is soft, everything is smoothed out. It's a whole new experience to the original.
I don't really like to go into details about notes, but this one here is so front and center. The iris, that patternedness, this very smoky dustiness to it. It's incredibly mesmerizing. And I do think that the violet that comes through really depicts the picture of the color of the scent. It really brings the color to life. When I smell this, I definitely smell purple, like this purple, lavender, deep gray, dark purple sort of smoke just filling up a room. It's a very much, it reminds me a little bit of incense smoke, a little bit of a smoke machine sort of smoke, because it has this like thickness and richness. It's almost like being at a concert or some sort of a theater exhibition.
You've actually touched on some other points that I wanted to address with these other two fragrances that I have in front of me. A lot of times, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, a lot of times people say that these are excellent expressions of incense fragrance. The problem that I had when I first came into it is I do like incense, but incense to me is that smoky, church gothic, sort of, ceremonial smell. And I wasn't getting that from these guys here.
I'm a huge fan of incense in general, a massive fan, and I have a broad assortment of incense fragrances. And a lot of them traditionally are a lot more churchy. They have that sort of like bitter, very dry smoke smell to them, and that is not sweet. Traditional churchy incense comes across as very neutral, very dry sort of smell.
I'm so happy to hear this from you too, because my brain instantly wants to see and understand these notes. Two things I want to show. Number one, I've discovered that myrrh, and I know that there is myrrh, especially in Black Iris, myrrh has this sweet, fruit-like quality to it when you first experience the resin. Dan and I had an opportunity to go to a boutique called L'Absolu in Milan. I bought back from the L'Absolu myrrh. I've always loved incense as a note. And the one thing that I found in here is that the myrrh has a fruit-like quality to it. So similar to like a plum note or like a black currant cassis sort of style, but only on the opening. As it dries down, then it moves to the next expression, which is this fragrance here. And this is the classic that Dan was talking about, that very dry incense. And this is now Boyce 1920s Scudo. And this is almost the classic Gothic church, dry, black pepper opening, papyrus style, but beautifully incense. And these pieces are all in this beautiful baby right here. I also love the way you said this, Dan, that it's a theatrical expression of incense. It's not cliche, but very straight down the line. There are some playful notes in here with fruit, but I think it's all developed or all generated from these particular notes that they're using, like myrrh. I know that there is like the rosemary that's in here, all these, the iris note. Anyway, bottom line for me, love this fragrance.
I can't agree more. I do feel that overall, this can be a daunting experience. This can be a daunting fragrance. For the newcomers, I would say, don't look at the notes, because the notes actually don't tell the whole story. And this is a much more likable scent in abstract than you think it is. If you see the notes and you start looking at myrrh, oud, incense, it smells, you get the feeling that it could smell a little bit too harsh, too difficult, too dense, but don't look at the notes, just experience it. Try to put yourself in third person mode. Just smell it and be like, do you like it or not? And then you can start digging into the nuances. Then you can really start exploring what the thing is. And again, I really want to underline how meditative it is and how relaxing it is. You have to allow this fragrance to really take over and to do its thing. At that point, you really understand the beauty of Interlude.
So as a recommendation, see if we both agree on this point. If you're new to Interlude, start with the original. Yes? No?
No, I actually would start with 2 samples. I would try to sample both at the same time and see which one just instinctively, intuitively has your attention, and then go from there.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, well, funny, my suggestion is Interlude Man. It's almost like a staple. To have it in your collection is you'll appreciate it. You may not enjoy it at the beginning. And what Daniel was saying is right. Test it first, because to go and blind buy and all that's just dangerous business. So test it first, but know that it will shock you. It will be like, what in the world is going on? But just let it Just let it play on your skin. Let you understand the fragrance. Don't breathe it in. Let it, the presence and the sillage of the fragrance do its magic. I would say then move across to Black Iris and then to 53. Thoughts, Dan?
I do agree. I really do like the fact that you said that Interlude is a fragrance that really requires time to sink in. And it's a fragrance that is jarring at first, but usually people come around to it, especially if you develop your niche flavor, your niche taste, then you come around to it and you're like, you know what, this is actually really amazing. It has so much depth. So don't be put off by Interlude like right away. Even if you were to not recommend it, blind buy it, just give it time, let it sit, give it time to just seep into it, give it time to like sink its nails into you, because it will eventually.
As you're sharing all that, Daniel, it literally threw me back to my moment in time when I first came to Interlude. I couldn't believe that this thing was so repulsive, that this thing was so like, what in the world are you trying to sell me? A year later, I went back to it and I couldn't, and I'm like, this is not the same fragrance. The person who first showed me did not show me Interlude because this is incredible. This is glorious. It just made me so happy. So it's a fragrance that you need time. Let it weave its magic on you. My suggestion, once you've done that, then make the decision to go to the next ones. I personally love Black Iris. I think for me, Black Iris is now the original, but now an overdrive with a whole new expression. For me also, I feel like the powderiness and the oud in the base presents itself quite quickly, but it's not that sort of fecal oud, but you can feel the warmth of that oud note coming through. Anyway, for me, Black Iris, my recommendation. Daniel?
So, interesting that you said that you were repulsed by Interlude at the beginning. I liked it right away. I was completely mesmerized by what it was. I just want to talk about what the utility of this thing is, because I find it it doesn't really have a specific like utilitarian aspect to its fragrance component. It's not really a functional fragrance. To me, it's much more of a meditative fragrance. And people ask, okay, I get it. It's cool, it's beautiful, it's well constructed, it's super complex. Where do I wear this? And I say, well, start off by wearing it in the house just to kind of like get a feel for it. But then this is a beautiful, beautiful night fragrance. It's so alluring. It has this aura of mystery to it. And specifically Black Iris, it comes across a little bit more likable. And in the air, it diffuses like a smoke machine. It's absolutely gorgeous. So if you're in a darker setting, in an evening setting, which is a little bit more elegant, it's a little bit more put together, this one here will absolutely shine.
Today was my episode for The Last Say, but personally, I'm going to hand it over to Dan. That is the last say. There's nothing more to be shared, and I love the way you expressed that. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you so much. It was great.
We'll see you guys all on the next episode.
Cheers.